This past weekend, I had the privilege of attending a mastermind hosted by an agency owner who's making an impressive $4 million a month in revenue with his agency. I paid a hefty sum in order to gain the valuable insights I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So if you're an agency owner, make sure to grab a notepad because these insights are game changing. Now the reason why I invested in this mastermind is because I wanted to grow my agency to $100,000 a month. Currently, I'm doing $30,000 to $40,000 a month with my agency. I already bought all the typical SMMA courses out there, and YouTube information really can't help me grow anymore at the level I'm at. That being said, who better to learn than someone who's already way past $100,000 a month? In this case, millions of dollars a month. In this video, I'll be teaching you the 4 biggest takeaways I got from the mastermind so you can go out and scale your agency past $100,000 a month as well. Stay tuned for lesson number 4 that I got from the mastermind because it has impacted me the most. Now, before we jump into the lessons I got from the mastermind, let me give you a bit of context on who the $4 million a month marketing agency owner is. His name is Rich Fiola. Now, the reason I decided to go to his mastermind and learn from him was because I wanted somebody that still had skin in the game. The problem with a lot of YouTube SMMA gurus is that they just sell courses. They tell you to do SMMA, but they don't do it no more, right? They sell outdated strategies. So I wanted someone that still had an agency. And the reason I went with Rich Fiola as well is because he has a $4 million a month marketing agency to where he's not working a lot of the day-to-day operations. He only works like 4 or 5 hours a week. And I was like, what the hell? What are you doing? I want to learn from that, right? He's only doing 4 or 5 hours a week and he has a $4 million a month marketing agency. What is he doing? I want to learn what he's doing, right? So I can go my agency to his level. He's in the Solar Nation, in case you're wondering. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump straight into the video. Lesson number 1, overcoming fear. So the mastermind, I asked Rich Fiola, like, how do you handle fear? Because that's something I face every day. I'm like, what if this all goes crumbling down? Like, what if all my clients leave me tomorrow? Yes, I'm making $30,000, $40,000 a month, but who's to say that, I don't know, Facebook shuts down or all my clients leave me tomorrow? That's like this fear. Like, how do I continue to make sure that my clients don't turn on me, right? They continue to stay with me month after month. So I asked him, brother, you have a massive team. You have tons and tons of clients, right? You're at a very, very, very high level. Like, how do you handle fear? Do you ever feel at all like this fear? Like, what if it all goes crumbling down? Like, how do you, I guess, combat this fear? And he just told me 3 words: it can't phase you. I'm like, huh? What do you mean it can't phase me? He's like, yeah, it just can't phase you. Because the moment you decided to be an entrepreneur / businessman is the moment you leave fear behind, right? Because you're doing the extraordinary, right? Things that people typically are scared to do, right? Leave their 9 to 5 and venture into the unknown, right? Because we're being honest here, right? Running a business is what's unknown, right? Not many people are able to scale their business or even reach the first 10K a month. So this being said, it just can't face you. And I was like, can you explain what happens if everything goes crumbling down? He's like, well, if everything goes crumbling down, he believes that when one door closes, another door opens, right? But it just can't face you. If everything does go to shit tomorrow and you lose all your clients and everything goes down, get back up, continue working. And in regards to fear, he tells me that never goes away. And it goes even bigger as you start scaling more and more and more and more, right? Because now you have a bigger team, you have, I guess, more mouths to feed, you have more clients, there's a bigger headache, you can say, with that. Even though he's not working the day-to-day, I guess, operations of the agency, he still has that fear. He say it never goes away. But he tells me that it's like you bite your tongue. You know that fear exists, but you just bite your tongue, right? You just gotta be courageous, even knowing that you're scared. And that's how you win, right? Because all entrepreneurs, all businessmen, they feel fear, but that shouldn't stop you. Because that's what prevents winners from losers. It's like what you do with that fear. You just gotta accept this part of life. If you haven't got it by now, really what it takes to go to the next level and scale your agency to higher and higher numbers is just swallowing that fear. Accept it. It's part of a reality. You can't let fear dictate your life because then you stagnate. Yes, you're gonna have that constant fear every month that the client's gonna churn. But so what? Continue working on those numbers to make sure you get more clients than you lose clients every month. It's gonna be okay. But you chose this life. You chose to be a businessman and an agency owner. Nobody put a freaking gun in your head. You decide to endeavor in the hardest competition in the world. They say that business is the closest cousin to war. Right? It's not an easy life. Not a lot of people are willing to stomach the risk of being an agency owner. You decided to do that, so it just can't face you. That's how you grow an agency. Lesson number 2, the power of a team. Rich Fiola told me that the only way he's been able to grow his agency to millions of of dollars a month is by putting trust in other people. That same trust you put in yourself, you gotta find a team. Obviously, you gotta qualify them first. You don't get shitty employees, but you gotta find somebody also that you trust. And that's how you build the agencies to higher and higher numbers. Putting your trust, your faith in other people. And if you can't do that, okay, you're never gonna grow. Because to a certain extent, you're your biggest bottleneck in your business. For the longest, I was stuck at like 20K a month. And the reason I couldn't scale is because I was freaking stressed because I was doing all the creatives. I was like, God damn, every time I get a new client, I gotta do their freaking graphic designs or video editing for the ads. I was like, why don't I just freaking get a guy from Colombia to do all that for me? Boom, he's in charge of all that. I can just focus on things that matter, right? Scaling my agency, getting more clients, and just due to that decision, the next month I grew to like 30K a month. And I know that if I want to continue scaling and getting to bigger and bigger numbers, I got to continue to get more team members, put my trust in other people, right? Maybe the next thing is getting somebody to do all my sales calls for me, the account manager. So that's really the only way you grow. There's no secret, just replicate you like 5 times, right? So that way you can grow your agency 5 times as fast. And that's how he was able to grow his agency from like $71,000 a month to $2 million in 1 year, and from $2 million to $4 million the year after that. He had this explosive growth because he just doubled down on building a team. He knew that his biggest bottleneck was him. Again, we go back to lesson number 1, right? That fear, right? That fear that arises. What if the sales call closer screws it up for me? Make sure you qualify first and train him good, and he's not gonna screw it up for you, right? You just gotta have trust in your team. That's how you grow. Overcoming that fear. If you never overcome that fear, you're never gonna get that team. That's the reason why I put lesson number 1 first, that overcoming the fear. It's important. You're always gonna face it, but you just gotta swallow that fear. Just know that you're doing the right thing. You have to get a team to grow. That's the secret to go to $100,000 a month, $2 million a month. And in regards to payment for your team, Rich Piolo recommended me and everybody in the mastermind to pay your team generously. I think that's the biggest reason why his agency has been able to have that explosive growth, because he pays his team well. He pays his account managers well, his media buyers well. So his team feels appreciated. Build a team and pay them well. Lesson number 3, having the right mentality. Another big reason why I wanted to go to the mastermind was because the people I was going to surround myself with in that mastermind, right? Keep in mind, this is a very, very high level mastermind, right? This isn't for like newbie agency owner. I was the poorest one there. Every person in that mastermind was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, right? Because they wanted to get to $1 million a month, right? They want to learn from this $4 million a month marketing agency owner, right? I just freaking bit the bullet, paid the hefty cost to attend his mastermind. I went. It was so worth it because I learned so much from just interacting with the people I met at this mastermind, right? The way that they brought themselves out. Let me give you some examples. During the mastermind, I went to the club 2 times. Now, guys, I don't drink. The reason I went to the club was to build a stronger relationship with people from the mastermind, right? To network a bit more. Well, there's 2 types of experiences you can have at the club, right? There's general experience where you're out with the pack, and then there's VIP. But the VIP in Vegas is very expensive. And the people I was with, they just didn't give a fuck. They were like, no, we're only doing VIP. That's what we're used to. We're not going with the flag. Not in an arrogant way, but just because they have like an aura to them, right? And it was very interesting, right? Everything they did had to be VIP. Whenever we hit the club, right, the first night, we just got there and they automatically knew the boundaries. For it was like something insane. And we just went through like this back entrance, and boom, we had a table, right? They were ordering Grey Goose, all these expensive alcohol, drinks. I guess it has to do with mentality, right? They wouldn't sell for anything less than VIP. And it's just like a mentality shift for me, because these guys also flew first class to this mastermind. And for the longest, I could fly first class if I want to, right? But I don't know, as growing up, I was conditioned. Only economy, right? Even if I had the money, it's just economy. Because I didn't grow up for money. Well, these guys didn't either, right? But it's just, I guess they've had more money than me for a longer time. So they all flew in first class, right? They wouldn't sell it for anything less than VIP. And one of the guys told me that the reason why they only, I guess, settle for VIP or higher is because it trains their mind to believe that they're deserving of this success, right? Of this status or wherever they go, because they worked hard for it. And with that elevated mindset of only wanting VIP the best, well, obviously they gotta earn more to support that more expensive lifestyle. Lesson 3 is about conditioning your mind to think differently. Not arrogantly, but differently. That you're different. Because when you start behaving as if you're, I guess in a way, better, you start believing that you're capable of more. Your actions will follow. Now, don't get me wrong. I also apply this philosophy, the mindset that they were showing me in my lifestyle, but I just never, I guess, realized it, right? Because there's really only 2 ways, I guess, to have more money at the end of the month. Number 1 is you cut down on costs. Or number 2, well, you maximize your earnings. You earn more. And I'm a big believer of earning more. Like, I'm not gonna cut down my freaking costs. If I want to take a freaking trip to a beach I'm gonna take a trip to the beach tomorrow. Maybe not right now, right? Because I'm locked in, right? Building something. But if I wanted to, let's go. I'm not gonna limit myself to a freaking burger if I want to go, or if I wanna, I don't know, splurge on something like some high-end food. I'm not gonna limit myself, right? That's just gonna screw up my mindset. That's the reason I'm a big believer of no. I'm gonna earn more. I'm gonna find a way to earn more and more and more and more money. I'm not gonna limit myself. And just seeing them apply it more extravagantly, I don't know if I said it right. Okay, it really opened my eyes, I guess, a bit more. I'm like, yeah, that's why I wanna be. Try to figure out a way, how can I earn more, right? And don't settle for anything less. That's the mindset you gotta have to grow. Okay, let's go to the final and most important lesson. Lesson 4, urgency. In the mastermind, I told everybody my 2-year vision. Okay, that was gonna get you $100,000 a month in 2 years. And I told everybody that I was gonna go there, right? Slowly but surely, I was gonna scale my agency to eventually hit $100,000 a month in 2 years. And Rich Fiola, right, the $4 million a month marketing agency owner, the host of this all, told me, Raul, why not now? And I told him, well, I'm scared. Or, I don't know. I just came up with a whole bunch of bullshit ass excuses. Like, I think I need 2 years because, like, I want to make sure that my foundation's steady and I start slowly getting more and more employees. And he stopped me. He was like, Raul, why not now? Like, what's limiting you from scaling your agency from what, 30, 40,000 a month, what you're doing right now, to like $100,000 a month by the end of the year, by the summertime, which is like 4 or 5 months? And I was like, I don't know. It was like I didn't expect this, right? I thought they were like, yeah, well, that's cool. Serious. Like, no, they're like, why not now? He's like, Raul, how much are you spending on ads right now? I'm like, so I think at the time I was spending like 3-4K a month. Like, in ads, right, to get clients for my agency. He's like, are your numbers good there? I was like, yeah. I'm spending X amount of dollars a month, and I'm getting X amount of clients a month, right? The numbers make sense. It's like, okay, why don't you double your freaking ad spend or triple your ad spend? I was like, because then I'm gonna have more sales calls and I'm not gonna know what to do with all these new clients. Like, that's the whole point of this, right? None of us knew what to do as we started scaling. And like in his case, like Rich Fiola, just to give you context, right? He went from like $71,000 a month to $2 million, okay, a month in just 1 year. Right? You learn as you go. But more than anything, the last thing he wanted to tell me was, besides the fact that obviously I can scale now and learn as I go, but I guess the biggest and most overall reason why I should scale today instead of in 2 years is because who's to say that this opportunity that we call SMMA still exists in 2 years, right? If you think about it, 5-10 years ago, right, when SMA was starting to become a thing on YouTube, where you started searching it up, right, when Iman Gaji was a young boy and all these other guys were still trying to figure out how SMA was, right, with the rise of social media, well, there was a massive opportunity then, right? There wasn't as much competition. Okay, now today, fast forward 5-10 years, well, it's freaking saturated, right? There's agency owners all over the world. It's a perfect business model to start because it's a low barrier to entry. But because of that, well, the competition is rising day by day. So it's becoming harder. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not impossible, but it's extremely hard today, way harder today than 5-10 years ago due to all the competition. Now, who's to say in 5 years down the road or 2 years down the road, it's going to be worse. And also with the rise of AI agents, ChatGPT, who's to say that our business model becomes obsolete and we're not needed no more? And that really opened my eyes because it's true, right? We're all like expectant that, the good times are never going to leave, right? My agency's doing really good. Oh, it's always going to be good, right? But we always got to prepare for the worst, right? Things are always changing. The environments are always changing, right? You just never know. Like, for example, I work with furniture stores, right? And appliance stores, brick and mortar stores. With the rise of Amazon, right? Making it more convenient for everybody to buy furniture there, right? With free delivery. Who's to say that I guess more and more people flock to Amazon in the next couple of years, right? Maybe with the rise of like artificial like reality, right? Like, I'm not sure if you've seen that with Amazon. If you want to buy like a couch, you can use your phone now, the phone camera, and it kind of like shows you how the couch would look like in your living room, right? If that becomes one day really strong and more powerful than it is today, right? Who's to say that people don't even need to go to stores anymore, right? So these are things that you gotta take into consideration. Like, hey, that's true, right? I mean, maybe I can't help furniture stores in 2 years because, well, the stores are done, right? The business model is destroyed because of Amazon. So there's a lot of things that you gotta take into consideration, right? You can't afford to wait years or months. You gotta scale now because tomorrow's not sure. Tomorrow's not here. We're not sure if the business model goes to shit tomorrow or next month or next year. You gotta scale now. They discarded my 2-year vision. They're like, no, Raul, you gotta freaking scale to $100,000 a month this year. This year, right? You cannot afford to wait. You'll learn as you go. Raul. Now I'm in Rich Fiol's inner circle. Obviously, he's gonna be guiding me month to month. So with his help, right, the goal is $100,000 a month by the end of the year. Yeah, guys, you gotta be urgent with your agency. Wow, you're probably freaking 1 month just to do your website, another month to figure out your logo, another month to figure out what freaking niche you're gonna serve. Don't fucking take that long. Just double down on something and just go. Just go full send. Double your freaking outreach methods, your outreach, cold calls, cold DMs, whatever. Double your ad spend. All right, what's preventing you from doubling business today? Nothing. If you really think about it, nothing. You're lazy, or it's just this fear. And we go back to lesson 1. You just gotta overcome that fear. You'll learn as you go. So to all the agency owners out there looking at scale, take these lessons to heart. Don't let fear hold you back. Build a strong team. Elevate your mindset and always operate with a sense of urgency. If you have any questions, or you want to chat a little bit more about these insights, these lessons that I talked about in this video, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Best of luck in your journey, guys. Let's make it happen. $100,000 a month. I know you can do it.